let's make some pineapple salsa to go with my barbecue salmon. So in my bowl I have diced up pineapples, and I'm only making enough for about 2 to 3 servings because it's just my husband and myself. So with the diced pineapples, I'm going in with some red onions, some red bell pepper, jalapeno. You can leave the seeds in or out, however spicy you want it. Cilantro, a little pinch of garlic, some lime juice, you can add a pinch of sugar in here if you find everything is too tart. And I'm going in with some salt and pepper. If you want more black pepper, you can go ahead and add a little bit more. And to really bring home the Caribbean flavor, we're going in with a little bit of this Bertie's hot pepper sauce because this will burn the roof of your mouth off. Just a little bit. A little bit goes a long way. And the longer this sits, the better. Woo! I think the jalapeno was also hot, even though I took the seeds out. But it's delicious. I think it does need a little bit more lime. And a little bit more garlic. Touch more salt. But this will pair well with the sweet barbecue sauce and that salmon. Delicious. So good. All right, I have my rice cooking with some bone broth in the rice cooker because I'm using white rice, the short grain ones. And now I'm going to season my salmon and stick it in the air fryer, and then I'll show you guys how I put together the barbecue sauce. So this is my salmon all nicely patted dry. We're gonna spray it with some oil. And then I have some seasoning mix here. I use the salmon rub from Trader Joe's, and I also used a little bit of garlic salt, parsley, and smoked paprika. I didn't use too much of this salmon rub because it does have sugar. The first ingredient is sugar, and I should have probably looked at the label before I purchased it. But it's done, and it also has rice concentrate in here. So I didn't use too much of it. That's why I ended up putting the garlic salt. So I'm gonna season both sides of my salmon, stick it in the air fryer at 400 for about 12 to 15 minutes. That's it. I don't like a dry salmon. I like my salmon nice and juicy. So we're gonna make the barbecue sauce, and I'm going in with the sweet Vidalia onion barbecue sauce. This does have a little bit of pineapple concentrate in it. We're gonna add some chicken broth. I like using this one because the first ingredient in it says chicken bone broth. We're going in with a little splash of rum. Oh, just a little. And then I'm going to add the smoked paprika, garlic, chili, chive spice blend that I get from Bell's for only $3.99. And when you look online, the price of one of these is about $12. So we're going in with a little bit of this. This has no salt, so don't be afraid to use as much as you like. Some thinly sliced onions. This is just regular onions. Grated garlic, and that is it. I'm gonna give it a mix and then heat this up on the stovetop for about 10 minutes. Just let everything come together and marry nicely. No need to add fresh herbs to this because I do have fresh cilantro in with the pineapple salsa, so that's gonna brighten up the dish for you and make it look a little pretty. All right, so let's take this over to the stovetop and check on my salmon. And to make my broccoli, what I'm going to do is put it in a pan. This is how I like to make my broccoli. That has a really tight lid, of course. Going in with just a little bit of this chicken stock or bone broth. You do not want your broccoli swimming in liquid because we are not boiling. We are going to steam these. Put this on the stove. Once the liquid starts to bubble, then we're going to turn the stove all the way low, cover it and let it steam for about 2 to 3 minutes. That is it. I do not overcook my broccoli. I do not like mushy broccoli. Raw broccoli hurts my stomach if I eat it when it's not lightly steamed. But if it's lightly steamed, I'm fine with it. But it's very little liquid. And once the broccoli is cooked to my likeness, what I will do is just sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper, toss it with the remaining bone broth or chicken broth, and that is it. Simple, delicious broccoli that I honestly don't get tired of eating it this way. And once it starts to bubble like this and get nice and thick to how you want it, you're going in with a little bit of butter. And once your butter is melted and your sauce is nice and thick to how you like it, and I keep saying to how you like it because some people don't like super thick sauce, some people like it nice and thin, so just cook it to your likeness. Then your sauce is done. Make sure and taste it if you want to add a smidget of sugar, a little bit of salt, pepper, whatever you think it might need, go ahead and put it in there. If I had some green seasoning mix in the freezer, I would have put a little bit of that in here. Madison's kale, what I do is wash it and make sure it is very dry, because you want this to crisp up in the air fryer. You don't want it to steam. Once it's nice and dry, you're just gonna tear up pieces. You're gonna remove that middle stalk because it's very tough. Okay, so this is very, very dry. So what I'm going to do now, spray it with some oil. And then I'm going in with some Celtic salt. And then you're gonna massage it. Make sure every piece is coated with some oil. I'm going to put this in the air fryer. When you put it in the air fryer, just make sure it has some room. You don't have kale stacked on top of each other. And you're going to air fry this at 300 for about 3 to 5 minutes. Make sure and check it. Depending on how big you tear your pieces, it can cook really fast. And this can go from nice, fresh, beautiful kale to a disaster in seconds in the air fryer. So make sure and don't move away if you're making this. Stand right there and keep checking it. Check it at the 3-minute mark. This is her dinner: kale, broccoli, salmon, and the rice. And this is how crunchy the kale chips is.
Can I taste it?
Mm-hmm. This is your dinner. All right, so I'm just gonna plate up my dinner since my husband is still at the gym. So I have my rice, my broccoli, my salmon with the barbecue sauce, and then I'm going to add my pineapple salsa right on top of that salmon. And that is it.